think my heart stopped. Excuse me? Okay. Oh, it's not all bad, chap. If the attendee is incapacitated, not able to carry out this clause of your contract,
Good evening, everyone.
I will.
So, it's not going to be solved by natural means. I think we need to consider calling a priest or something.
I admit it. Toys getting lost. Instead, I turn a corner for my favorite ice cream.
Signal transmissions from your Relo 6 have been detected.
Now that I've made it this far, the Alchemy Commission and the Seed of Divine Foresight have no chance of catching me. Huh? I know your voice. It was you who invited me. Why you gotta scare me like that? Honestly. Hey! How about you tell me when the express is departing? The conductor? You mean that cuddly-looking creature, right? The one that's shorter than me if you don't cut the hat. Judging by how bored they look, my guess is you won't be leaving anytime soon. I don't want to give the Alchemy Commission time to discover my itinerary. That's all. Now that I think of it, the Express really would make a good secret base. Anyway, thanks for the invitation. I really like it here. They better be, or I won't be coming back.
Okay? I said as they activated the blade and she whimpered and her lower lip quivered. Mommy, I'm scared. Please don't let them hurt me. She begged. I touched her cheek and cried alongside her as the blade hit the edge of her arm and I heard the loudest noise imaginable from the machine.
Or are you dog shitting right now?
But Marcy's high-pitched wail was even louder. They immediately stopped and Stan rushed over, all of us surprised to find out that somehow her skin had managed to break the bone saw. What in the world? Stan said. They had to try again. They tried 3 times, each time only causing more damage to the saw than any progress on Marcy's arm. And finally they admitted they couldn't try any longer. They left muttering apologies and promising they would call back as soon as another solution presented itself. That was over 6 hours ago. We haven't had a call back. Stan has taken off work, but he's no closer to a solution. We tried to bust down the wall from outside the house, but no such luck from that either. I'm at the edge of my rope. I've done my best to keep Marcy well fed and dry, but I don't know how much longer this will go on. I'm asking anyone. Please. Help us. Help my little girl.
New things.
Help.
The attack Oh, okay.
Something changed about 4 hours after I posted. Stan ran out to buy a soft beanbag chair for Marcy to be able to rest in. I bit my nails and waited by the phone for another call for the EMT. Their suggestions weren't bad, but each one of them sounded more gruesome and torturous than the one prior to it. Acid, maybe some sort of explosive.
We need a strategy.
They made me physically shake. Can you imagine doing that to my little girl? I was tired, exhausted, but I still had some sanity left to know that I didn't want to make my little girl be in any more pain, especially now that her screams had mostly turned into whimpers as she rested and cried pitifully in her sleep.
You'll pay for this.
I stepped away from her for a minute or two to gain some sense of composure and checked all the suggestions that folk posted here. I mean, some of it was quite appalling, suggested that we kill her to save her the pain. Others suggested that we should attempt to cut from further away up her arm. Someone said it so well. A whole arm amputation beat her current predicament. I showed my husband the suggestions and he agreed to model, so I went back to Marcy
This battle is
to make her comfortable
unavoidable.
if he made the call. That was when I noticed that it was no longer just the lower part of her arm that was stuck. Now the wall was connected directly at the arm, right beneath her shoulder. She was being pulled further in. I kept my mouth. Stifled a scream. I rushed to get Stan. When we came and saw what happened, we made a few quick decisions. Don't wake her. She's not in pain right now. And maybe that's a good thing. We can get this over with before it sucks her even further inside. And I nodded, trying not to panic as I paced the kitchen, but the hospital wasn't responding. The one nurse we did finally get a hold of thought we were pulling some kind of prank and hung up. What are we supposed to do? I asked Stan, as we consulted in the living room. I'm not sure. But I think right now we both need some sleep. As cruel as it sounds, there's nothing we can do for her. Leave it to me. Maybe, with some good rest, we can clear our heads and get some better ideas. He suggested. I don't want to leave her alone. I admitted, as I started down the hall where our little girl was resting on the beanbag. Like a little rag doll, limp, hanging by some invisible thread at the side of the bottom. We can take shifts. You need rest, Stan insisted, and then I went to lay down alongside her as I covered my mouth again and tried to calm down. He was right. I knew that I needed to take a break from this insanity. So I went to grab a hot shower and then climbed into bed. But sleep was nearly impossible as I thought about Marcy, and how it could be at any time that the wall might decide to pull her in further. Somehow or another, though. A few hours.
We've entered the storm.
In the morning, my husband did have a more loving head, and we stood there watching her sleep, and soft pleas of pain. And whispered, "What was she doing before that happened?" I rubbed my eyes tired and realized
The galaxy
I
is
really got the
fantasy
chance to
gold
ask her.
container.
I was sorting laundry and I heard her scream. I admitted. He nodded, and then went back to the kitchen to check his smartphone. I called Tim last night about possibly coming over to knock the wall down, since it seemed like the area closest to her was what was making it painful. Figured we got far enough out and we'd start from there, he said, then added, "If that doesn't work, might be able to drill under the house." I was focused on Marcy. I realized she was waking up, so I nodded absently at my husband's ideas and put all my attention on her. Hey, baby girl. You okay? I asked, getting on my knees as she opened her sleepy eyes. She looked at me confused, perhaps thinking the whole ordeal had been a bad dream. Then she turned to see the wall was now right against her body, and she began to whimper again. "Mommy, what's happening?" she asked desperately. "It's okay. You don't feel any pain, do you?" I asked, as I clenched her other hand. "No, just... it feels really numb. Tingly," she admitted. I then remembered that the paramedic said the local anesthetic is used to be wearing off after about a day, so the fact that she was feeling something made me instantly nervous. Stan had checked the exterior of the house. Our walls aren't too thick, so there couldn't possibly be over 9 feet between the interior of the hallway to the edge of the house, which was packed. But we hadn't been able to see anything. So,
Carefully.
What exactly is she feeling the pain right now?
Leave it to me.
It's gonna be okay. Uncle Tim is gonna come over and see if you can survive. I told her. She nodded and asked if I could make her some breakfast. Doing the simple routine task seemed like the best way to keep my mind off my little girl's plight. I slowly washed the dishes, engaging without anything besides the wall. Eventually Tim arrived, and as soon as he jumped inside, he got a good look at the wall and Marcy. Hey kiddo, he said slowly, and offered Marcy a small trinket as a distraction while he got a better look. This is crazy. He admitted, when he finished his examination, we all worried about what the next few hours might mean for Marcy. Tim had brought a heavy-duty saw in the back of his truck and set it up at the ideal hall with a wall next to the door of the laundry room. Stan got an extension cord and they got set up as I distracted Marcy.
I'm on guard.
I'm not scared, Mommy. I just want to go play in my room, she admitted. Tom started up the saw and approached the wall. He was at least 4 feet away, but as soon as the saw touched the wall, Marcy's calm demeanor fractured into more pain. Stop, stop, stop! I yelled. But the noise was too loud, and Tom was wearing protective ear guards. Somehow, though, he managed to hear Marcy's piercing screams as he instantly shut the equipment off. Shit, she okay? He asked as he removed his idea. Marcy was shaking again, clenching her other fist and squeezing her side so hard that it was leaving a bruise. I tried to get her to tell me where it hurt. She was at a loss for words. Okay, we have to try something else. Hitting the wall's no good, Stan said. If we can get those damn paramedics back here, maybe we could apply some stronger anesthetic from this side, Tim suggested, as he checked Marcy's free arm. While she was distracted with the pain, he made a small cut with his pocket knife against her palm. I slapped him away. What's wrong with you? Are you trying to make it worse? Relax. It's just to test your theory. You said near to the wall she couldn't be hurt. But look on this side. She can still bleed, he said, gesturing to the successful cut. It's all the way up to her fucking shoulder, Tim! Where the hell would we be able to cut? I screamed back. He raised his hands defensively and muttered, All right, amputation's off the table right now. Let's try the other thing. Drill from underneath. Stan seemed to agree that it was a good idea, so the two of them left the house while I worked frantically to calm my little girl down. She was so tired and worn out from everything that it didn't take as long. As I sang a lullaby to her and let her rest her head again, she looked up at me, and she mumbled, Mommy, I'm scared. Am I going to be stuck like this forever? I rubbed her back and smiled, tears welling up in my eyes. I didn't know, but I lied to her. No, baby, Uncle Tim and Daddy are going to get you out, I assured her. I could hear the two of them crawling underneath the house. We lived in an area that's at the bottom of the hill, so the crawl space is mostly designed for water that trickles down to flow through and go into a nearby ditch. In other words, I knew that Tim and Stan were likely on their backs, struggling in muck and dirt to search for the right spot to drill. I'm sorry, Mommy, Marcy said, as I went to the nearest vent in the floor to talk to Stan. It's okay, honey, it's not your fault, I told her. She was whimpering again, bearing a pain. This time, she was scared. I recognized it as the face she usually made when she thought she was going to get in trouble. Stan was telling me something about how I would need to send the drill down through the vent, along with a cord. But my attention was focused on what Marcy was trying to tell me. Baby, why do you think you're in trouble? I asked her as she squirmed uncomfortably. Now with 90% of her arm on the wall, it was nearly impossible to get her into a position that wasn't going to hurt, even with something to rest on. What were you doing before this happened? I asked. Guilt was written all over my face. I'm sorry, I didn't know, she admitted. She looked panicked. No, sweetie, it's okay, you aren't in trouble, I told her. I was drawing on the wall, she sobbed. For some reason, the way she said it made me feel a cold shiver run up and down my spine. It's okay, baby, I said with a soft, small voice. It's gonna be okay, you're not in trouble, I told her. I really think she is. I'm about to send the drill down to Stan and Tim, but my gut's telling me that it won't work. My gut's telling me that there's something very wrong with this house. It's been quite a while since I've touched a bottle of alcohol. I had a problem when I was younger, but I kicked the habit when I found out I was pregnant. I swore I would never have to drop the stuff again. Now, it's been 3 days, and there isn't a hope in sight for my daughter. If you're catching this for the first time, the problem started on Friday. Marcy was drawing on the wall, in the back hallway of the 3-bedroom house, and suddenly, she was unable to remove her right hand from the wall. Since that time, we've tried every method known to science. It's left my husband Stan and I feeling rather desperate. It got so bad after we called Tim, her uncle, we resorted to drilling from the crawl space under the house. Despite the impossibility of it, I can't deny what I'm witnessing any longer. It does seem like she's being absorbed by the house. That was further confirmed when Tim and Stan tried the drill, after lowering it through the vent, followed by the extension cord, told the boys to give it a shot, and held Mercy as close as possible as the machinery was activated. For a moment I thought it was working. She wasn't screaming. She seemed to be distracted by the hum. And then it hit the foundation of the house. Mercy let out a wail so loud I thought it might burst my eardrums. Instantly I signaled for the two of them to stop. They hadn't even made a dent in the foundation, and it was actually causing her more harm. Once Tim and Stan were back inside, the two of them checked on Marcy first, before deciding to go to the den and try to solve this. Somehow I managed to calm her down long enough for me to join them. Anywhere close to her is hurting her physically, so let's try going further and further out in the house. There's bound to be somewhere that doesn't affect her. So maybe we start from there and work our way towards her, Stan suggested. I could tell he was stressed more than ever. He had called into work these past few days to try to help. His job had even called several times yesterday to ask when he would be returning, and he offered a flimsy excuse. But it's not like he could just ignore bills forever. I think you should contact the media. I know you posted it on the internet, so what's the harm there? Tim suggested. I don't want a bunch of quacks coming in and treating her like some kind of experiment, I said angrily. I didn't want to admit that I almost considered posting a video of Marcy's particularly earlier. I couldn't press the button. It didn't seem right. This was my child. That's some kind of work of art or freak show. I didn't know what sort of attention that kind of post would attract. I turned back to my phone as the two men talked and reviewed some more of the outlandish theories. Surprisingly, the only sanity I found has been to come online and check the suggestions made. I mean, they didn't seem so bizarre anymore. Many of them were practical, like attempting to cut away at the wall from a further and further distance. And that sounded like what Tim had just said. But we soon found out that just about anywhere in the house when we did something, it was causing pain to our little girl. Even the simplest thing like flicking the light switch on and off, she said it felt like a shock. Eventually, Stan and Tim agreed they needed to test to see what else did and did not affect Marcy, so they went to different parts of the house to try other things. Meanwhile, I sat a chair alongside her beanbag, and I prepared her. Uncle Tom and Daddy are going to see if they can help you, but it's going to take a lot of trial and error, sweetie, I told her. She seemed numb, and so tired from pain, that she barely registered the words I was saying. I sobbed, and I held her, wishing that this damn house would take me instead of her. Tim started in the bathroom and turned to the sink. Marcy said that it felt like she was swimming, and that it was hard to breathe. Stan went to the living room and turned on the TV. Marcy knew a show was playing, even though she was down at the end of the hall and was needed. We decided to limit our use of anything in the house, not knowing what could or could not affect her. Ted made a few calls to some nurses who knew over the local ER. The stuff we and Tease gave her was probably not nearly strong enough. If we're gonna do this, she needs to be out cold, he told her. Stan and I were too tired to argue. A few hours later, his friend arrived and examined our little girl like she was some kind of specimen, asking us all kinds of questions we'd already been asked 1,000 times. I was already concluding in my mind that this wasn't going to work. There's not much room to work with here, the nurse admitted, as she tried to numb the little portion of skin on Marcy's arm that was still outside the wall, between her arm and shoulder. But the needles weren't working. Most of that part of her body now seemed impenetrable. Instead, she resorted to setting up an IV on Marcy's left arm and gave her a few general antibiotics and morphine, as Tim searched desperately online for what sort of anesthetic could do the trick.
Lance at the ready.
Even if you do get her sedated, how would you even amputate at this point? You would have to cut from the neck down. Do you have a better idea? The nurse snapped back. We aren't dealing with anything natural. So, it's not going to be solved by natural means. I think we need to consider calling a priest or something.
Fighting is meaningless.
Daniel nearby, pouring some coffee.
Of life and death.
And he nodded absently. I guess
This battle is unavoidable.
Oh yeah, let's look in the yellow pages under exercise. The nurse said, rolling her eyes and crossing her arms. I was about to snap back at her for her attitude when I heard Marcy making some more whimpering sounds. And I went to check on her. Stan was right beside me. We now saw that her arm was completely sucked in, along with a portion of her shoulder. She was gripping my hand with her left one hard, and she told us how badly it hurt. I want to let go of you, she said. Stan's face hardened, and he stood up before going to grab his coat. What are you doing? I asked.
Lend me your strength.
Off to find a priest. There's bound to be someone in this,
I'm
he
on
said.
guard.
Tim and his friends were finishing up the next round of drugs. Marcy complained about the needles. Every time they stick me, it makes me hurt more in there, she complained. They touched her cheek softly with Mr. Forehead. I know, baby girl, I know. It's gonna hurt what's it better.
You know nothing of the weight behind survival.
Tim wasn't feeling sympathetic. He held Marcy still as his friend prepared the next round of general anesthetic. Nothing seemed to be making her sleep well. And the more she was poked and prodded, the more she complained about the wall squeezing her arm tighter and tighter.
Lance at the ready.
It was a wonder that she could feel anything at all. Just get out! You've done more harm than good, screamed at them. Tim apologized for his friend, and the two of them scurried away. They kept rocking her, trying to make sense of this nightmare.
The truth of life and
You should be glad I even came to help, the nurse shouted as she left the house. Tim muttered another apology and followed after her. Then, just as I was ready to pass out myself,
We've entered a storm.
Stan came home, and he wasn't alone. The man that came with him did not look like a traditional Catholic priest. He was wearing just some khaki pants and a button-down white shirt. It wasn't completely ironed. It looked like Stan probably caught him at a bad time because when he arrived, he didn't seem too happy with being there. As he got closer, his eyes narrowed, and he examined Marcy closely. He was almost infuriated to see yet another person scrutinize our child and treat her like an object. I must admit, I've never seen anything like this, he said. Can you help us or not? Stan said in a cold tone.
I'm on guard.
I could tell that he had likely gotten a few negative responses from the church. Thank you very much, the priest said, as he went back outside, and then returned a moment later with a small bag. He laid it down around 9 feet from Marcy, and then took out a few simple supplies. He first took out a long bundle of sage leaves and stems. They were tied together, and took out a few bottles of crystal clear water. He instructed us to wait outside the house as he began to gently pour the water around the spot where Marcy was stuck. I hesitated, not wanting to leave my little girl, but I understood the stakes. I promptly let it go, stand in the yard. Stan and I stood there, holding each other for the next 20 minutes or so, waiting for some signal that it was okay to come back inside. And the longer we waited, the more uneasy I felt. Was this man really here to help our daughter? What if he was a molester or something? And now, did he even know if he was really doing anything helpful? Or not? Suddenly, a shrill noise burst through my thoughts. It was a smoke alarm. Stan ran in to shut it off, and I wasn't far behind him. Open all the windows, he told me hastily, as I ran into the smoky hallway to grab hold of Marcy. You okay? I asked her, touching her face. It was hard for me to really see her expression, but she nodded silently as I went to the other windows to ventilate the house. Once the smoke was starting to clear, I could tell what had happened as the priest had lit the sage on fire and then dropped it on the ground for whatever reason. Jesus Christ, Stan said as he waved the smoke away and started to find the priest. But he was nowhere in sight. I turned my attention to Marcy to make sure that she was okay. Then I let out a louder scream. I didn't think it was possible, but it was now somehow worse. Part of her face was molded into the wall, up to the edge of her right eye, and her lower chest as well. Are you okay? Did that man do something to you? I screamed as I squeezed her hand. She was sobbing again and looked around frantically. It was clear she was panicking because she couldn't turn her head. I don't know what happened, Mommy. He was chanting something and talking funny, and then he began to strike the wall, and I felt dizzy when he did that. I was scared. He was a scary man, she admitted. Stan checked the rest of the house, but there was no sign of Priest anywhere. I slumped against the wall, feeling deflated and defeated. There's one thing of significance. The one spot where Marcy had said the priest had been striking the wall felt a little different. It felt warm.
Lance at the ready.
I don't know exactly when we went past our breaking point. Was it when this all started?
You'll pay for
Or when
this.
things got worse?
Lend me your strength.
Either way it happened. There wasn't much else I can describe what transpired
The truth
after
of
the
life
meeting
and
with the
death
priest,
is sexual
other than a
immortality.
complete and total loss of sense. I think I was the first one to really lose it.
I'm on
Lack of
guard.
sleep, trying to keep Marcy as comfortable as possible, and trying to keep a straight face myself despite the circumstances were likely the main cause. But the moment that really made me start to question everything was around lunchtime yesterday. I've had to resort to a liquid diet for Marcy because of the way that she's fused to the wall.
We've entered the
She
storm.
could only barely open her mouth on the left side, and I'm feeding her with a straw. For the most part, when this happens, she's quiet and cooperative because she's hungry.
Lance the blade.
Yesterday something was different. Mommy, why did they do
You'll
it?
pay for this.
She was good as she took another sip from the hot straw. She looks sweetie.
The truth of life and death.
They changed the color.
But the vision.
Why did they change the color? I frowned and ran the back of my palm against her
This
forehead to
battle
check
is
the fever.
unavoidable. Lend me your
I
strength.
muttered, baby, what are you talking about? They changed that color. They covered it up. I don't know why they did it. She complained. She seemed tired, so I kissed her head and told her I was going to take a nap. Stan came to be beside her as I gently walked up the stairs, pondering over what she had told me. Eventually I found myself standing outside of Stan's office, the upstairs bedroom that Marcy had been talking about. As I stared into the room, I thought back to when we first bought this house. The realtor had suggested that if we ever wanted to expand our family, that the room could be a great nursery. Why had she said that? I stepped into the room and stared at the walls, the patterns that were decorating them before finally deciding to rip it all off. As I began to tear it down, I heard sharp sounds from downstairs. Then Stan was running up the stairs like a wildman. "The fuck are you doing?" he said as he burst into the room. I kept stripping off the wallpaper and ignoring him. He grabbed my hand and forced me to look at him face to face. "You lost your mind? Well, you're here dismantling the house. A little girl is downstairs crying because she said she feels it, like you're peeling her skin off. We agreed not to do anything like this." I pulled away from him and said in a shaky voice, "What am I supposed to do? I'm trying to figure out what this fucking house wants. It's not like I can talk to the walls." I relaxed and held me for a moment as I broke down and dropped some of the wallpaper folded. "I'm sorry. I overreacted. I'm sure whatever you're doing was intended to hurt." He admitted as he squinted his eyes and looked past me to the wall. He looked over for a moment and went
The
toward it,
truth of life and
gently
death
peeling the
is
wallpaper off to
sexual
reveal what
immortality.
appeared to be a measurable chunk inside. What is this? Yeah. I examined it as well and realized it was the scribbling of a child's hand on the wall named
I'm on
Jasper Hunt, age 10.
guard. Lance ablaze.
Do you know exactly? Yeah. I shook my head and replied, "Marcy was talking about it like she knew.
You'll pay for this.
I don't see how that's
Fighting is
possible."
meaningless.
He examined it closely, and I could see his brain firing to figure out what to do with this new information.
Guard and defend. Crush them.
Unless we really can talk to the wall, do you know? Do you think the house is the one that was speaking? It sounded ridiculous to say, but given all that we had experienced, we couldn't rule anything out. I think he's trying to tell me something. Stan thought.
Lend me
Then
your
he moved over
strength.
to his desk and began to rifle through some files. "What are you looking for?" He slammed it closed and muttered to himself, "Thought I kept an info on the real estate agent. I
The truth of life and death.
It was Samantha something. Although my brain was so tired I couldn't imagine where he was going with this. He paused and he kissed my cheek. But I'm gonna try and Google the info and get them on the phone. Maybe find out who the previous owners are. Okay. What do you want me to do? He up his chin for a moment, then directed me towards the stairs. Keep Marcy talking. If the house can tell us anything else, it could help us get it out.
Let's begin.
I nodded. Sprinting down the stairs to where my little girl was whimpering, pulling her shirt off the pad and scratching her belly. As I got closer, I could tell she was developing a rash. Here, can you do okay? I said as I sat alongside her. Mommy, why do you keep hurting me? She asked, as she was sitting down her face. She could barely even get the words out. Just to hear her say that made me feel like I wanted to die. I touched her cheek and smiled gently. No, baby, no. We don't want to hurt you. We want to help you. I found what was under the wall. It was another little boy who was here and crawled on the wall too. I said, did the wall see him too? She asked anxiously. I didn't know the answer to that question. And the fact that she asked it made me even more terrified. I bit my lip and came up with a lie, wondering when the house would use our daughter to speak next. No, baby, he's okay. His name was Jasper. I'm sure his family knew what we told him. I said softly. Why are you being weird? Marcy asked, fumbling to find the words as she looked at the wall. She said with trembling lips as she touched the wall with her free hand. Stan was at the edge of the hall with a grim look on his face that told me he had bad news. Realtor sold us the space, doesn't work for the company, and they don't really have any files on hand about the previous owners. Nothing? Not even a forward address? All the agent could tell me for sure is this property has been on the market for 6 years. And we got it at a reduced price because it wasn't selling. I covered my mouth, realizing it's such a simple thing that have horrific implications now. Had the wall actually consumed Gordon and Jasper too? Has she told you anything yet? Only that she's scared, and that I don't know how the house communicates yet. I paused and sighed deeply, trying not to lose it. Are you even listening to ourselves? I said in exasperation. Are we really expecting this house to talk to us? Exhausted traditional medicine isn't working. Machinery won't break down the wall. And we saw that priest disappear before our eyes.
The truth of life and
Can't deny it. As though to prove his point, he walked over to the wall and began to bark at commands. Listen to me. I know you can hear me because what you've done to my daughter. She's innocent, you hear me? I demand you take me instead. Of course, there was no response. Instead, Marcy only complained that her pain was returning and she felt itchy again. Still, I don't know what that meant in the connection to the house, but Stan was growing frustrated. What do you want from us? I swear to God, answer me now before I fucking burn you to the ground!
Is meaningless.
But that evoked a response from the wall, or rather Marcy, as she screamed again and yelled, "It's pulling me!" I instantly grabbed at her arm. No, please, please don't! He didn't mean it! I begged. Marcy's right nostril was now from the wall, and all of her right eye. Only a sliver of her mouth was out enough for her to cry to us. Then it seemed to stop, and I shoved Stan back. Are you crazy? Do you want to lose her altogether? He ignored me and went back to his office. Stood there for a moment, answering Marcy. I even gently touched the wall and let her apologize. Please, just tell us what you want. We'll do it, anything. Please let our money go. I sat to the floor, and I kept staring at the panel, expecting any sort of response. Neither Marcy nor the wall was showing any signs of talk. Was it angry because of Stan's threat? I went upstairs to confront him again. He was in his office searching for something in our main boxes, but we never got around to sorting them out. I know this sounds crazy, but we have to try to appease the house. We've tried that. We can't bring back the old residents. So I'm tired of compromising with a fucking demon, he said as he finally found what he was looking for. It was a sledgehammer. Stan, what are you doing?
Leave it to me.
It thinks I'm bluffing. I'll show it what real pain is. His face told me he was serious, but I could see pain and anger in his eyes. He wasn't thinking this through. He walked back downstairs to the den. You can't! You said it yourself, it'll hurt her more than it helps. We know that some parts of the house can be hurt. If this thing wants to survive, it's gonna have to start cooperating. He snarled as he turned to the wall and began to smash it apart. Instantly, Marcy began to holler. We could see that it was causing her little body to seize up. Don't do this! I'm not stopping until it lets her go, Stan said firmly. You hear that? I'm fucking tearing you down! I ran downstairs, desperate to try to hold on to Marcy before the wall started pulling again. If you keep this up, she'll be gone, I screamed. It's her or the house. If it takes her, I won't stop until the whole place is rubble. I squeezed my daughter's hand, trying to keep her from feeling the pain, but instead of pulling her further on the wall, the house had a different response this time. I could see it happening even before she started to make a sound. Something was moving under her skin. It was a small, gentle ripple against her arm before I realized that it was an insect, a termite, burrowing its way out of my daughter's arm. And before I knew what was happening, more of the insects began to dig themselves out of her body in different places. Stan, stop! I shouted at the top of my lungs. This time my husband listened. He dropped the sledgehammer and fell to his knees as he saw the termite swarm that was now invading our little girl's body.
You know nothing of the way to be survived or be
As he
destroyed.
hurried to clean her off and get the insects away, but he knew how many of them were still inside of her. Another few minutes passed with nothing but Marcy's gentle sobs. Eventually she fell asleep and Stan and I stood there broken, defeated by the house.
I've no interest in conflict.
My husband asked.
You'll
As he
pay
got
for
down on his
this.
knees and started to plead at the house.
Leave it to me.
I don't know what you want. I'm sorry, I want my daughter back. Please, for the love of all that's holy in the world, please give me a sign.
We've entered the storm. To guard
I
and
squeezed his
defend.
hand as we waited there trying to see if anything would happen. Instead, he was just
Nothing
more
of the way to be
silent.
survive or be destroyed.
Stan stood up, shaking his head as he prepared to go back upstairs.
Fighting is meaningless.
Mama?
The truth of life and death.
Marcy whispered as he stood up. She looked confused but not frightened.
Leave it to me.
I looked toward her. Feel what? Sweetie? I felt like
This battle is unavoidable.
something pushing its way out, she said. And that was when I noticed it. I approached the wall and reached my hand out to touch the several ripples in the pattern. We were silent. All together, jutting out from a wall about 6 feet from where Marcy was stuck. As I watched, in awestruck horror,
Let's begin.
the wall began to peel away and showed what appeared to be
Troublesome.
5 little fingers sticking out.
The truth of life and death. The sanctuary is but a
I don't know
vision.
what I'm doing anymore.
You'll
This
pay for
house is
this.
affecting everyone that comes in contact with it. The house is alive, and whether you choose to believe that or not, I don't care. What matters is that I'm going to do whatever is necessary to save my daughter.
There is no other choice.
Even if I don't fully understand.
Leave it stand down.
When this started, my husband and I resorted to different methods to try to break our daughter free. We even attempted to contact the
Entered the
priest.
storm.
That led to the house retaliating. And now, as crazy as it sounds, we're trying to appease the house to save her. But she isn't alone anymore. Over the course of a single afternoon, Stan and I watched as the small fingers we saw pushing out from the wall formed into a complete hand. And then, a wrist. Someone or something was trying to push its way out of the wall.
Be destroyed.
Somehow Stan got his brother back on the phone. Tim has a friend that worked third shift to try to help us before all this got so bad.
This battle is
But I pushed her
unavoidable.
away.
Lend me your strength.
I've had time to reconsider that decision, and I've realized the house has been clouding my judgment. I need all the help I can get. Look, about before, I don't apologize, the nurse said over the phone. I found out her name, Beth. Beth had 2 kids of her own. I know you're stressed. Anyone, it's a matter of life and death, and it's something that no one has ever seen before. I'm no Christian, but if you are, I recommend praying to God, because if you told me since I left, sounds like you're dealing with the devil himself. I learned that she wished to drop to help us the first time, and that now, as she re-entered this town, she was going to do so again, all because of a hand sticking out of the wall. I never believed the rumors, not until this, Beth admitted, as she used a tourniquet to tie off the edge of the rift closest to the wall. I saw that she was hesitant to touch the building itself.
Lance at the ready.
Stan asked. They had been pending in Marcy. Ever since the incident with the termites, her body had been sore and had a variety of open sores on her arm and belly. She was exhausted and barely breathing. Steph made no comment about her state of being, but instead focused all of the attention on the new arm. Look, about his house being haunted. And you can read up on a few tabloid articles about it here and there, but it's almost like the house is keeping a secret. Like, okay, let's say this boy is really trapped here, so why would the house release him now?
This battle is unavoidable. Lend me your
I
strength.
didn't have an answer to that question.
Leave it to me.
All I knew was that I was certain that Jasper was a key to this whole mess, and I wanted to learn as much about him as possible. After making sure the tourniquet was good and tight, Beth took out a scalpel and gently cut the tip of the finger. Then she used a needle to draw blood, and commented, "Either way, I'll get an answer soon enough."
What the fuck?
Once she was finished, she checked on Marcy's vitals. He gave us more bad news. Her body's starting to shut down. Her breathing, it's becoming labored, and now that more than half of her is inside the house, doesn't appear that she has any way of using the bathroom. She admitted that she checked Marcy and confirmed she also had a fever. Then we might be too late. Stay in the way. At this point, who knows? I can't definitively say what's going to happen. Beth pursed her lips as though she wanted to say something, but stood up and sighed before adding, "I'll call you when I get the results back." God be with you.
Oh my god, that's pretty OP.
I thanked her and let her go and stand paced in the hallway. Considering our options, Marcy was asleep now thanks to a few pills that Beth had given her, and my husband used these moments as a chance for us to discuss what we would do if the house continued to wreak havoc on our little girl's body.
Okay.
I don't think this is gonna end well, he admitted, as he slumped in his favorite recliner. We can't give up on her. If that little boy is any indication, maybe, even if she is completely absorbed, she'll be alive still, I said. Stan didn't seem so sure.
I'm not gonna give up and let her go. Shit, man. My headphones. That's fine, I'm gonna fix it later. Why is it like this? What do you mean? I can't hear anything.
Noise. It's getting late. Where to now?
What is your purpose for entering the seat of divine foresight?
Can you wait a little moment? The Master Diviner will be here soon. She's temporarily taken on the General's responsibilities. Before meeting you, she must make the current situation known and fortify public spirit. This is her first real test as a General. I hope she can get used to things quickly.
I don't think I can ever get used to this. It's a pleasure to see you all here today. Collating casualties and losses. Dispatching forces to round up the remnants of the disciples. Submitting battle reports to the 6 charioteers. Now I know what Jing Yuan meant when he said, "The highest throne faces the strongest wins." Generalship is no trifling matter. It is a duty one must bear. I think she actually really enjoys it.
Master Diviner, have you summoned us here just to sigh and complain?
Of course not. On the contrary, I am eager to thank you all in my official capacity as acting general of the Luofu. Now that things have drawn to a conclusion, it is time to reward you.
Ooh, all those benefits that the General promised! They're finally here! Yippee!
Yes. The Astral Express has braved great evil for the Luofu. Your devotion is evident. After discussions with the 6 charioteers, you are henceforth sworn allies of the Luofu. Within the Luofu's jurisdiction, you are to be treated with the highest standard of diplomatic protocol.
On behalf of the Astral Express, I would like to thank you, Master Diviner.
Wow, nothing tangible then? But at least it sounds pretty cool.
Now that things have been expressed, I still have something to discuss with you. Please, this way.
Seriously? Thanking us like that and then immediately sending us on another mission?
It's not a mission. The Stellaron Crisis, the Disciples of Sanctus Medicus Rebellion, the Arbor's Resurrection, not to mention the Antimatter Legion infiltrating the Luofu. All of these incidents need reporting at the highest level for investigation. It's just that, having been in the middle of everything, I'm struggling to keep an accurate perspective. I would appreciate if you could go through it all with me, so that I can reacquaint myself with a finer detail. So, where should we begin? The Stellaron Hunters. We know just as little. But in the Matrix of Prescience, I saw a prophecy that Kafka received from Destiny's slave. Elio foresaw all manner of possibilities for the Luofu. Based on what Kafka knows, and despite everything being under the control of Elio, that prophecy is indeed the most beneficial future for the Luofu. The Stellaron Hunters walked right into our trap, and even gifted allies,
in the form of yourselves, to the Xianzhou. That might sound self-interested, but I hope the feeling is mutual. Now that the future has come true, the Xianzhou has discovered the Legion's intentions, and with everyone's help, has imposed a crushing defeat on Phantilia. It appears that Phantilia was the mastermind behind it all. The Xianzhou warred with the Antimatter Legion in the past, and ever since we have kept a watchful eye on their movements. Few could have foreseen the insidious tactics employed in the execution of their assaults. The Lord Ravager slithered in unnoticed, clandestinely plotting and machinating, and surreptitiously bestowed a Stellaron upon the disciples of Sanctus Medicus. This heinous act instigated an uprising aimed at luring the Luofu into a perilous trap of self-destruction. The present danger posed by the Legion clearly demands a re-evaluation. We should proceed cautiously. When the ambrosial arbor was severed by the Rainbow Arbiter thousands of years ago, the abundance became a taboo. Those within the Alchemy Commission, the original masters of the so-called Way of Immortality, were ruined at a stroke. The Commission became a shadow of its former self. Presumably, from that moment on, the seeds of discord for the disciples of Sanctus Medicus had already been planted. Some of them were willing to work with the enemy, acquiring a Stellaron from the Antimatter Legion to try and revive the abundance. They succeeded all right. But why would Phantilia's objective to be to realize their wishes? Those traitors gained nothing. They betrayed the Xianzhou only to become sacrificial offerings in the Lord Ravager's grand scheme. That we may. But as logical as things might seem, there are still many details about which we're uncertain. For example, how was the Stellaron brought onto the Xianzhou? And who sent it onto Scale Gorge Waterscape? How many disciples of Sanctus Medicus still remain at large? All of this is a mystery. Thus far, we've done our best. I'm submitting my report to the Alliance, and I've already got a plan in mind. All of you will feature in the report. But for the sake of Jingyuan, anything related to Xianzhou internal affairs will have names redacted. I hope you can forgive me.
I was about to make the same request, Master Diviner. Since the Arbor's resurrection, I'm sure the Alliance will be poring over every detail of the report. I fear that if the Astral Express gets dragged into matters, leaving will not be an easy task.
Jingyuan has committed quite a few violations this time around, and I'll have to deal with them one by one. Cloud Knight generals are all such a hassle. Before you leave, please make time to recuperate. If there's anywhere you'd like to visit, feel free to take a look. I must attend to some Cloud Knight matters. Farewell for now. Oh, if you pass through Starskiff Haven, I have something that I hope you can give to Yukong. It was all so chaotic. When Phantilia took form, it was as if Tingyun vanished into thin air. The Cloud Knights were only able to find her fan. She took it with her everywhere. It's currently unclear if Tingyun was a puppet manipulated by Phantilia, or if some form of deception was used to cloud her vision. I'm already prepared for the worst. Considering how the Legion operates, I fear the fate of the Skyfaring Commission Ambassador may be a bleak one. As for how matters are handled with regards to Tingyun, I believe it's best left to her Foxian kin. I have informed the Skyfaring Commission of the events which took place, and I think it would be best if you were the one to deliver this item to Yukong.
I understand. Leave it with us.
Thank you, Mr. Yang. Now, let me take a look at my remaining duties for the day. It's quite the list. It's getting late. If you need me, I'll be in the Divination Commission Conclave Hall.
Without a doubt. This Jade Tracer belongs to Yangxing. I can't thank you enough. He took on the charge of pursuing a major criminal. It is not my place to impede him for fear of his well-being. That is the nature of the Cloud Knights and their duty. I do have confidence in him, though. Forgive me, but I cannot disclose this information. You already accessed the recordings?
She accidentally pressed a button.
No harm done. She was my mentor and my superior when I was a member of the Cloud Knights. However, she left the Xianzhou a long time ago. If you see her, be sure to keep your distance and notify me immediately. Thank you again for your help, friends from the Express. The situation remains unpredictable, so take care. I hope to be able to drink and talk freely with you once again, when everything is settled.
It's getting late. Where to now?
This year they only exported 1.5 million tons.
I see. Please extend my regards to the 10 lords.
I will. Our condolences, Hellmaster. You have guests. I shall take my leave.
On behalf of the Skyfaring Commission, I would like to thank the crew of the Express for saving the Law Fu from the Stellaron crisis.
Madame Yukong must have heard about Miss Tingyun.
Yes, I have heard. Seeing 4 leave, yet only 3 return, was enough for me to know that Fu Xuan's report was indeed correct. Tingyun. still can't believe it. The whole report reads like a bad joke. It's simply unimaginable. The Antimatter Legion on the Xianzhou, and Ting Yun, a Lord Ravager? How could someone who spent over 30 years working alongside me at the Skyfaring Commission turn out to be nothing more than a monster in disguise? What happened to the real Ting Yun?
Madam Yukong.
I'm sorry. I understand. It's just hard for me to accept. Thank you for bringing Ting Yun's belongings back to the Palace of Astrum. The Stellaron crisis has cost us too many comrades. Brothers, sisters, children. I'd like to invite all of you, as witnesses to this war, to a soul-soothing ceremony hosted by the Skyfaring Commission. Will you consider?
A soul-soothing ceremony?
To put it into short life terms, a funeral. You see, for long-life species of the Xianzhou, death has always been a distant, mystical concept. Ordinarily, the Ten Lords Commission guides people to the Hall of Karma before any symptoms of Mara are detected. There, they leave behind their lives and wait for their time to come. People are used to a short farewell, as opposed to a tedious burial process. Given our limited lifespans, the only ones who place value on ceremony are us Foxians. Countless Cloud Knights lost their lives or became Mara-struck during the crisis. The Hall of Karma couldn't take them all in, and so they passed away. All of these sudden deaths and unfulfilled wishes remind us that long-life species still live out insignificant and limited lives. By combining Skyfaring Commission technology with Foxian ceremony, we honor those who have passed on. We place items of the dead onto star skiffs and send them out to sail between the stars, to shine brightly among them. It's not just to comfort the dead, those souls who can never talk with us again, but also to comfort their surviving relatives, close friends, and indeed all residents of the Xianzhou. It's also my way of saying farewell to Ting Yun. I know, she's dead now? I'm selfish. She may not have died a Cloud Knight, but she's still one of us here at the Skyfaring Commission. A victim caught up in a wider conflict. I'd like to hold this ceremony as a way of distancing the memory of Ting Yun from the Lord Ravager who tarnished her identity. I can still hardly believe it. I'll use my own methods to locate Ting Yun's whereabouts, but at present, This is the least I can do for her. I'd like to ask you all to witness this event with me. I've instructed Yen Ming to sort through Ting Yun's belongings. I hope you can pick some out to place around the star skiff.
Leave this to us. We'll take care of it as per your wishes, Madam Yukong.
Once again, my thanks to all of you. I've asked the judges of the Ten Lords Commission to ratify this soul-soothing ceremony, and have commissioned a special skiff at Stargazer Navalia for the ceremony. If you need anything, that's where I'll be.
The fuck is this? Well, I'm finished here. I'll take a nap because my grandma will wake me up in the morning for no damn reason. Fuck this. I'm feeling tired right now. The fuck is this, man? Yeah, new map. What? How much is this? Is it 8? Oh, fucking 8. This one? Let me test that out.
Nice.
No, what the fuck? Huh? Okay. Can you save it? Dude, I don't know what this thing. Oh. Okay. But these things are legit. Okay. Finish here. Yeah, check something else.